back! White man, fight 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 back!
White men fight back, white men fight back. Here's what I don't understand. I'm looking at this rally where they're honoring Charles Kirk.
White man, fight back! White man, fight back! White man, fight back!
I'm trying to understand that. White men fight back against what? Black people didn't have anything to do with this. White men fight back. First of all, what happened to him was horrible, but what does white men fight back mean? I think it was a white man that did this whole thing. So what are you saying, white men fight back? Time to blame black people for what? This shit happened in Utah. There were no black people around. I've been to Utah. Not a lot of black people there, so I don't know where they're getting this chant from. White men fight back. What are you fighting back against yourself? All of a sudden, black people are being blamed for what? Now HBCUs have to close their campuses because of threats. Of what? Threats of what? Why are you f***ing with black people? What did black people have anything to do with this Utah shit? All of a sudden you conjure up black people. It's always black people are in danger. HBCU campuses are closing because they didn't do a motherfucking thing. That makes no sense to me. We're in danger now because we didn't do nothing. We're always in danger. It's always black people. Black people this, black people that. We're minding our business. And there are actually black people that are mourning Charles Kirk. They're like, this is horrible, this is sad. They feel bad for his family, that he has 2 kids and a wife, and they had to see that. But all of a sudden it's white men fight back.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Pretty Mets here. Credit goes to the original creators of the clips I'll be using in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So there was a rally honoring Charlie Kirk, and people were out there chanting "White men fight back." And this is wild because it's happening right after HBCUs were threatened with bomb attacks. And let's not forget, this was in Utah, a predominantly white state where there are barely any HBCUs.
It took them less than 24 hours to start threatening black people, and in all honesty, we should be surprised that it took them that long. The alleged suspect who went after Charlie Kirk seems to be white, male, and young, and was wearing a black t-shirt. And yet somehow, just somehow, a school full of black students ends up getting targeted. Funny how that happened. Now Alabama State, Virginia State, and Hampton University have been put on notice that people are looking to attack. And I can only imagine how scared the students and faculty must feel, especially when they had absolutely nothing to do with it. But unfortunately, we've seen this all throughout history. Someone turns up no longer living, they point to a black person, and suddenly an entire town of black folks is burned down. Back then, racist white folks would accept any excuse they could to carry out their murderous ideations against black people. And today is absolutely no different. They don't want to accept that the problem lies within. They don't want to accept that it's one of them who did this. So they'll point the finger at, let me see, black folks to do exactly what they wanted to do this entire time. And exactly what the government has wanted them to do this entire time. Why do you think the White House has been poking at black folks the way they've been? Or why they've instituted certain laws to try and rile us up? Why they've tried to coax us into protesting in the streets? Because they want any and every excuse to silence us, and this is no different. They're counting on their MAGA base to be so riled up that they go after black folks, and now look at what's happening. They're falling right for the trap like they always have, and history is repeating itself. Now thankfully we know how to fight back, we know how to protect ourselves, we know how to blow the whistle, we know how to stand on business. So even if they try to proceed with hate and violence, it's not gonna go down like they think it's gonna go down, okay? But the fact that it's even a possibility, the fact that they're trying to threaten all these black kids who have nothing to do with this, it's awful enough and scary enough in and of itself. I'm extremely disappointed but not surprised. And if you're not surprised, I suggest you stay alert, stay ready, and stay in the know of what's going on. Keep an eye out and keep each other safe.
We have a young man that was unalived on a university's campus. We have HBCUs that are receiving bomb threats and other kind of crazy threats. And we can't get our president to call for peace. We can't get the president of the United States, damn near 80 years old, to get on TV, to get on social media and call for peace. You telling me that his words don't have power? You telling me that he doesn't have influence? The most powerful man in the world can't unite the country after tragedy, whether it's on the left or the right? Y'all will never convince me that this man is a good president, because morally, he's not good, right? Morally, he's corrupt. Morally, he's bankrupt, right? He does not care about uniting the country. He cares about winning political points. We saw Joe Biden, we saw George W. Bush, we saw Barack Obama. Every other president has been able to do it, but he can't seem to bring himself to put uniting the country above politics. Y'all don't care about that? People don't care about that? That's not important? right? That in a time of tragedy and senseless violence, right, that the President of the United States can't just get on TV or social media and call for peace. Pretty disgusting.
You know, this whole black people being the reason why your life is miserable is getting real fucking old. I mean, it's past old, but it's getting beyond old. That man got shot by one of your own, and y'all take it upon yourselves to send bomb threats to HBCUs nationally. That man got shot by one of your own, and somehow, some way, HBCUs are the reason why he got shot. He got shot on a campus in Utah that was not an HBCU by one of your own, somehow, some way, and y'all fucked up brains. That equates to, let me send threats to HBCUs nationally. All the bullshit excuses that y'all been making up over the past 24 hours, those are now null and void. They're now null and void. Where did that happen? You're making it up. Wanna see? As of 8 a.m. this morning, more than 4 HBCUs had to be under lockdown after receiving threats. Coinky dink, I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch. That's just essence. There's no way that's true. This is ABC News. This is ABC. It's on Fox, CNN. It's everywhere. Alabama State, Hampton University, I believe Morgan State. What's the excuse now? Quickly. What is your weak ass excuse now? What's your weak excuse for this? Black people went nowhere near that shit. Black people ain't have a motherfucking thing to do with it. Wasn't in the vicinity. Didn't have a damn thing to do with that man getting taken out the way he did globally. And y'all are so angry, so hateful, that you then decided to turn around and started sending threats to HBCUs. They want us marching in them streets so bad. They are so angry right now. I guarantee you somewhere in their nasty little brains are thinking, if those motherfuckers was out protesting and we had somebody to take this out on right now, this would have never happened. Or somehow, some way, in their sick, twisted brains, they're finding a way to make us the reason why, despite us not being anywhere in the vicinity, despite us not having anything to do with it, despite it not being centered around us. In fact, his last words as he exited out, leaned left, was gang violence. There's more than black gangs in America. In fact, the police force is probably the biggest gang in the entire world. Have you been to San Francisco? The Hondos over there, they got that bitch on lock. The Hondos got that motherfucker on lock. Have you been to New York City? There's gangs over there of different races. But you hear gang and your brain immediately goes to black people. And your first instinct is to send threats. Let me see y'all explain this one away. I am intrigued, actually. I would like for y'all to tickle me pink and give me the excuse that you have for this. Because this is quite literally disgusting. Disgusting. In its finest hour, you're looking for someone to blame and you need your scapegoat. You no longer have your scapegoat. The scapegoat that's been passed down to you generationally and historically, you no longer have it. And instead of you admitting to yourself that you're just a fucking raging racist, y'all rather sneakily do nasty shit like this. Black America, if this isn't a sign that war is already knocking at your front door, I don't know what else you need to see. I hope y'all got y'all shit ready. Because it's clear to us that that is what they want. They want it so bad. They want war with us so bad. They try to turn the Latinos against us. They try to turn the Asian community against us. They try to turn everybody else against us. And we stood firm. We stood firm, held motherfuckers accountable, and sat back and watched them deal with the accountability in real time. When that shit didn't work, they tried to launch a personal attack on us numerous times, time after time after time after time after time. They still couldn't get us up out them seats, up out our beds, and in them streets. And now they finding ways that they can try and directly implicate us and cause some kind of stir and controversy. We're not fucking going for it, baby. You're going to have to meet me in my yard on my terms. You want war? You're going to have to bring it to my front fucking door. And we'll see who makes it out.
We really got to see how things happened in the past in American history to black people when white people get angry at something that they don't have answers for. So let me tell you, you know what I'm talking about. So in a almost all white state of Utah, in an all white college, at an all white rally, one white man killed another white man. And there were two big responses to that. One response for people on the left, Democrats, in the whole spectrum, right? Conservative, centrist, leftist, far left Democrat. The white people who inherit those spaces have been lauding Charlie Kirk for days now, have been praising him, and some have been online crying, and none have mentioned his abject, disgusting racism, his attacks on black women, on black intelligence, on black professionals, his attacks on the transgender and gay community, his attacks on immigrants, and his desire for public executions, and his vitriol about Dr. Martin Luther King, his talk about George Floyd, just disgusting racism. And this is from the left praising him. And then from the right, from the president to that googly FBI guy, blaming Antifa, blaming transgender people, calling people on the left scum and degenerates when they didn't even know who did it. And then went further. Something like 20 historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, had to be shut down because of credible domestic terrorism threats. And then you have all these people online making videos and comments to black people and videos about black people threatening our lives. And why I say this is an example of America's history, because when a white person dies, particularly, but not exclusively, a white male, and white people don't have an answer for it, the immediate response in American history is to start blaming and attacking and killing black people. That's why our towns, hundreds of towns, not just Tulsa, Black Wall Street, hundreds of towns across the South and Midwest have been burned down because of white fury like we saw these past couple of days. And not just business districts and businesses, but churches, Christian churches, bombed and destroyed by white Christians. Our homes and, of course, our people in the form of public executions and lynchings, thousands, all because white people need an outlet for their anger, their misplaced anger. And that anger has too often been directed at black people. And you saw it live and in action these past couple of days. And what's Trump's response to that guy getting caught? He's sending the military to Memphis.
Utah is a place that the average black person will never, ever try to go to unless they are just passing through. HBCUs are primarily located on the East Coast and throughout the South. Nowhere near Utah. The only HBCU that I'm aware of is in LA. Again, nowhere near Utah. Nothing to do with Utah.
There's not one HBCU on the West Coast near the West Coast. I went to a HBCU in Atlanta all the way from San Francisco because we don't have any black schools nowhere near that area vicinity of the coast. Like, you could cut the United States in half and there's no HBCUs over there. We barely got black people over there. There's none on the West Coast. We didn't do it. We're not the ones. It's not us. You're the demographic. You are, not us. Y'all don't want this. Y'all don't want this. Don't play with our kids. This is serious now. Don't play with our kids.
What that has to do with each other, I don't know. But like I said before, stay your ass home. If you don't need to go outside, stay home. The left, the right, the left, the crazies. Everybody's losing their mind. They're going to start tripping. I'm telling you, yo, America. Oh, man. Yo, we got a problem in America. We have a very big problem in America. I'm trying to warn y'all. Y'all not listening. If you don't need to be outside, keep your ass home. People are losing their mind. They don't know who to point the fingers to. Was it the liberals? Was it conservatives? Was it LGBTQ? Was it BLACK people? Was it YT people? Was it this? Was it that? We don't know. Was it propaganda? Was it the government? Was it not the government? Why you gotta call HBCUs and do death threats? Why? Why at VHU? What did Virginia State University or Hampton University do? What got nothing to do with this? Just people being crazy, like just wilding. You gotta cancel school. I keep saying this, yo. Like, yeah, you send your kids to school for education. You don't send your kids to school for death threats. Y'all losing your minds.
Yet again, Black Americans are the ones that face the most bullshit, having done nothing to warrant an ounce of it, ever. Like, again. The story, it's almost like someone has to be writing, like the same author has to be writing all of these books, because you're really trying to target Black people because likely what it seems like is a white person did something, and targeting education as if Black Americans already do not feel safe enough on college campuses, whether it's an HBCU or not, because of people like Charlie Kirk. Like, Charlie Kirk's presence on a college campus equals unsafe to anyone that isn't a cis, white, straight person, usually man. Like, it is 100% all interconnected. Like, the amount of infiltration and lack of safety and violence that Charlie Kirk has already done and now continues to do from hell is just not surprising, still infuriating, and impactful, to say the least. Now they have to shut down operations for a week, like, or the rest of the week at least. This is... When you see the rage and the frustration and the exhaustion of Black people, especially Black women.
We quote one, a young white man, yet somehow Black people keep getting dragged into the blame, like we've seen for decades in America. And where is Trump in all of this? He's the president, the so-called most powerful man in the world, but he hasn't said a word to calm things down. The silence is loud, and it makes you wonder, what exactly is happening in America? Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Obviously, don't forget that this is for education and commentary purposes only. As usual, I'll see you on my next one.